Welcome back, guys, and welcome to a new series where I'm going to build a base out of scrap. My name is Lars, and this is the building of Kvasir. These are the plans for the new base for Kvasir. It's a mid-scale base, 32-inch, with 28 frets, 5 string. Will be tuned E to C. If this plan reminds you of, Matheson base, in particular the Gwizdala signature, don't worry, because it is. I'm making a copy. Okay, I need to explain my plan. Now, if you are familiar with the Norse mythology, Kvasir was a man. That was made out of spite. The legend said that after the Great War between Asi and Vani, both of the parts make a peace arrangement, and then they spit in order to seal that piece. They spit on after the party, because they have a big party, they decide to not leave all that useful spit there, because it was a waste, go figure, and they use that to make a man, Kvasir, the most knowledgeable man, a wise man, and well, it was then killed by 2 dwarf serial killer, but that's another story. What's important is that I want to use that concept for this base. In particular, I want to use all this piece. Some of these are the piece that came out from Kvasir, and other piece that a guy, actually a woodworker, and he gave me things like this. These are waste piece, and I want to use this to make my base. Some of these are very small, but this is all hardwood, and it's pretty hardwood. And what I want to do is basically make a scrapwood build. I'm after a specific look that I will show you in a minute, because I was kind of stupid and I put the second drawing that I did under the wood. Now, what I want to do is basically made a multi-limited neck for a through neck guitar. Easy peasy. Now, I don't have a piece of scrap wood that is long enough to go from the beginning to the end of the neck. So what I will do is actually create that long piece. So pretending this is one piece, I will take another piece and I will glue them together. Now, gluing like this is not the best choice. So what I will do is cutting a 50-degree angle here and a matching one on the other, and then glue them together. Now, this is not for strength reason. This is more for make sure that the gluing surface is nice and there is no hole between them. And then what I will do is attaching, in this episode, I will attach the 4 central row all together. Make one big piece at the end. Now, I have to be really careful with 2 things. The first thing is that let's take this are the cutoff from Kvasir. Let's say that I have piece from this and this. What I have to be aware is I don't have to put them like this, because the for two reasons. One is that the grain orientation is different, so planing and sanding will be a nightmare. Second, because I want the grain to be on this side, on the length of the neck, so I don't want to have piece like this, or let's say like this, because I will have a lot of short grain, and that is calls for misfortune and damage. I want to put them like this, so the grain is matching and it's all long in this direction. Now let's pretend that this is one row and this is the other. The second thing that I have to be aware of, and I have to be really super careful, is that I don't have to put this glue point from the two row align. They don't have to be like this, because this is a weak point. There's not a lot of gluing surface here, so there's not a lot of glue, and that means that this point is weak. And imagine the force of the string that come from here and from here, it will just break them, will break that point. What I have to be really careful is to make them shift. This way I have the glue point from the single row, always the same, but every single piece is attached to another one with a long surface, means a lot of glue, means a lot of strength, and this piece is attached to this piece, that is attached to this, and I have this piece. There will be at the end a single very strong piece. At the end will be like one. And what I have to do, I already have some example. As you can see, I already made some line. I have to cut single piece and then glue them together. So let's start into measure and make some more line, and then I have to cut. Let's go. I work for about 2 weeks now, and this is what I have. I work a little bit off camera because, well, it was boring as hell, and my workshop is messy as ever, messier than ever. But I have this thing. Now, what I did was, well, was changing the saw, and I went from this that is good, but a little too... that was good, but a little... not enough powerwolf. Not power enough, and so I go with this. Now this cuts 2 mm away every time that I cut. Take away 2 mm of wood every time that I cut, but it was too much of a job for the other saw, and so what I basically did was cut piece like this. And now what I have to do with this homemade jig, what I'm going to do is replicate this thing for other three times. And the MVP for this job is this. It's a little jig for cutting angle. I put this at 15 degrees, and I created this homemade jig to go with. Now what I'm going to do now is take another piece, mark the angle where it needs to go, and then I will cut it with the smaller saw this time, and then I will use this little jig. I made this with some piece of spare plywood, and these two pieces are placed 50-degree angle relative to this edge, and I will use this along with the leveling beam to have a pretty damn face. And then it's time for the glue up. And I have to repeat this process other 3 times. And then I will clean this mess because it's way too mess. Okay, it's the next day, and the glue up went well. I just have to redone one because it wasn't one piece wasn't lined up as good as I wanted. And now what I have to do is thickness this thing. Well, this thing is not really strong. It doesn't have to be, so right now it doesn't have to be. It will be strong once it's all glued up together. But what I have to do now is thickness this thing. So I put some double-sided tape in 3 points here, and I mark a line here on the side for my thickness of 1.2 centimeter. I have to take quite a lot of material on some of this. Some are almost perfect, but it's a lot of work, and I will start with this. Then it's the time probably for the glue up. I have to say, now it's time to work. It's finally glue up time. It took me 2 weeks to arrive to this point. I will show you this point for strip of wood. I can say that I barely waste any wood aside from the dust that's now on the floor. So now I want to glue up this thing. I have a tiny bit of water just in case, various size clamp, and just because, 2 more clamps. So now I will glue up. Wish me luck. This was scary. Tell me it's the recording. Yes. The audio. Yes. It's not that bad. There are some spots that will definitely need improvement, but at least I have a starting point now. And for this starting point, it took me only 2 weeks. I will need another bottle of glue before this project is over, because, and by the way, this is not easy to find in Italy. I have to order from Amazon. That doesn't always have. Now I will do something clever now. I will take the parchment paper and put it here, and I will clean the rest of the desk. Here you can do what you want. Here I now need to let this to cure for about today. Tomorrow I will come back here to see how well the glue up went, and I should clean all this glue, but it's no point because I have to take away at least I will say 1 millimeter of this whole thing, so there's no really a point to do it now. I will simply take away the glue with the rest of the wood. I now need to clean this mess. I'm a little bit tired. Anyway, I will see you next week, where I will complete the central section. I have a lot of work to do, playing this thing, put more paste on either side, and work for the shaping. But this is a starting point. This is a starting point, and I'm kind of happy with the result. So next week wait. Before you go, I want to give just a big and quick thank you to anyone who support me on Ko-fi. Mr. Goliard donate to my cause for having decent light to making this video, and if you want to donate and support this channel, you can do it on Ko-fi. Links is in the description, and all the money that you will give me you will be used for making this channel better. And while you're at it, just take a look at Goliard. Goliard is a guitar builder boy, and he makes some really amazing guitar. Just take a look at his Instagram page, links is also in the description. And Goliard, tell me if I pronounce your name right, because I think I mispronounce a lot. And you have to come here, boy. You have to come here on YouTube. You have to sell your soul to the camera. So, links to Ko-fi is in the description to my profile, and follow me on Instagram if you don't, and I will see you next week.